What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the Live Game, episode 91. This is the average man's perspective on football. I am your co-host Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Next up, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
And we'll be joined by Brian, aka Eddie Kane Jr. shortly. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch it on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Live Game. Also on Twitter at the official The Live Game. And, The Live Game 3. I was getting mixed up. It's the Twitter handle. And on Instagram at the official The Live Game. Week 4 is in the books. Had a couple of good games. Got some right, got some wrong. I want to shout out my Washington football team. I was down in Atlanta this past weekend to see the game, and they pulled it out. Even though I left early before I got to see the win. Shame on me. But how many hosting the show tonight? Go ahead and start it off,
Am I hosting or did
I'm hosting tonight, Marcus.
Are
you hosting tonight, Mark?
Yes, sir. I am. We're good. Everything's good. You can see me and hear me now, right? I'm hosting.
Okay. Well, for now, we can. For now. check back with us.
All right. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, folks. We're gonna get into some NFL news, some hot topics, review our picks from last week's games, pick a couple of games from next week, and then our final thoughts. So let's get into it. All right. right. That's correct. That's right.
Yeah, he's real enthusiastic about the show, as you can see or hear.
On the NFL news, the Washington football team trainer Ryan Belimian was placed on leave due to outgoing criminal investigation. It's not clear on what the investigation is. It is about Belimian didn't even travel with the team with Atlanta, so really don't know what the going is on that one. Marcus, can you elaborate a little bit more on that one?
Yeah, I don't have any details, but I think I can guess since they searched both his home and the Washington football team facility. Might be some enhancements, some what you call it, PD.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. PEDs, PD stuff.
PEDs. I just hope none of the players get caught up in this nonsense, but. But his position and the fact that they searched the Washington football team training facility might be more to come with that. I hope not.
So that's to be continue with that one. Yeah. Marcus, hit us with the next news.
Me? Marshawn Lynch to become the chief brand ambassador for the NFL Players Association. I don't really know what that entails, but hey.
And pretty much in detail what it is, he's going to be the spokesman for the NFL Players Association for help out with a lot of retired veterans, promos and stuff, fundraisers and so forth for it. So I think it's a pretty good job for him. He's a good man for it. I think it's nice. And I think it's the first year they're doing this too. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty nice. Herman, you can take the next story.
Mine was the last story, actually. Urban Meyer is in the midst of controversy after video surfaced of him partying with young women at his restaurant in Ohio. This happened on a Friday night after the Jags lost to the Bengals. Meyer didn't fly back home on a team flight or a team plane. He claimed that he was going to go visit his family and his grandkids. Then he canceled a team meeting on Monday when the video came out, because he didn't want to face the team. So it was funny. I saw this meme. It said, yeah, he was with somebody's grandkids, but not his.
Yeah, I seen that video.
Oh man,
I seen a still shot of that video. It didn't,
bro. That's a bad.
I don't think it was his grand.
That's a bad.
I think Herman, you said it on one of the group chats. He's gonna be one and done. I think he's gonna be one and done. But hey, real quick, not to get too deep into it though, but what was he thinking about by not traveling back with the team? What?
That's very unusual. especially after a loss.
Especially after a loss. If they had won, this would be different.
Yeah, if they had won, I could see it being different. But after a loss.
Yeah. I mean, and if I'm in the locker room, it's like, bro, you can't tell me nothing if I did something. Like, if I do something stupid, you go call me into your office and try to scold me?
You gonna look at him like, yeah, right, coach.
Exactly. So it's like, what are you doing?
And I think he didn't apologize to the whole team. He did it in spurts. Like he did it.
Yeah.
He did a group of them here and then a group of them next. Yep. So it was like, man, it don't look good. It really don't look good for him.
Not at all. And the owner came out and said something too, like about him. He needs to gain the trust of the organization back again, basically.
Looks like we're gonna have another Nick Saban.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But he's done this. He's done this everywhere he's went to. He had problems in Florida. He had problems in Ohio State. And then of course he come to the NFL and they hire a tight end and never played a tight end in the NFL, and also one of the assistant coaches that was racist. So yeah, he's done. He's done.
Biggest difference though in college, he was winning.
True.
Hold on, we got something special happening right now.
I'm the one selling the records.
Yeah, the man.
They coming to see the temptation. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Brian, Eddie Kane. Oh.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
No, look, now the show has started.
No, but what's up with Mark? Oh my God, he's so clear.
Yeah,
nobody came to see us. They just came to see him.
For now.
Give him about 2 minutes, Brian. Give him about 2 minutes.
Man, here you go.
Hey, Brian. Getting into the show now. We're talking about the news. If you don't mind, you came just in time to start off with the third news that's in our rundown.
Oh, okay. So somebody took mine, I guess, huh?
Yeah. So
yeah.
First, third wasn't there.
That's why we said
the third. Okay for y'all not to go in order.
That's why we said the third.
All right. So both the Cowboys and the Patriots released veteran players today. Linebacker Jalen Smith and cornerback Stephon Gilmore. Smith was released apparently due to less playing time and performance, while the Patriots couldn't come to a long-term agreement with Gilmore. Recently, the Packers are actually close to signing Smith, and Gilmore was actually traded, not released, to the Panthers for a 6th-round pick.
Yeah, that was surprising to me this morning. One, I thought that Gilmore was just about ready to come back and get off the PBU list. I think he should schedule to be back at game 6, the 6th game of the season. So for New England to do it now, it's like they couldn't come to agreement because I know he wanted an extension of his contract, but New England wanted to make sure that he was physically fit to hold up that. And he's 31 years old, so yeah. I can understand why New England didn't really want to press that. Go ahead.
Actually, there was a little bit more to it. So yeah. New England needed cap space because they're supposed to be signing Jamie Collins, the linebacker that was cut by Detroit, I think is him, and they wanted him to take a pay cut or try to do the deal, and they couldn't work it out. So that's what it really boiled down to, was him not being on the field already, and like you said, Mark, they wanted to know that he was going to be. He was going to have recovered from a pretty serious injury, and they needed that cap space to get Jamie Collins. So they made the move. I guess they figured they needed a linebacker more than they needed a high-paid corner. And they got the Panthers to eat the contract.
Yeah, they took. Yeah, exactly. So
do you think that beating that the Cowboys offense put on the Panthers this past week was like, okay, we need to sign this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Even though
I think it definitely enticed them.
Even though they had,
and not only that, they lost their.
They had just lost their rookie. Wasn't he a rookie?
Yeah,
I think they just drafted him this year, and he was doing real well. And he got
J.C. Horn. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and then they picked up. They traded for the corner from the Jaguars, but that beat down that the Cowboys put on them, they needed to shore up that secondary some more. So. And they had the cap space, so I guess
Yeah, I think it was a win-win for both. I was surprised, it's always good to at least get something. I mean, the 6th-round draft pick, is better than nothing.
Right.
All right, so we're gonna keep the show moving. Get into hot topics. First hot topic that we have, we'll talk about with 3 seconds left on the clock, and the Ravens up 23-7. Quarterback Lamar Jackson ran for 5 yards in order to tie the NFL record for the most 100-yard gains in a row. Do you feel like the Ravens disrespected the game by doing it, going for the record, when normally it's understandable that you take a kneel and prevent a possible injury? You think that was throwing more salt in the wound for him? Marcus, I'll let you start us out. What you think?
The only way I think if they should have done it is to avoid a possible injury. As for disrespecting the Broncos or the game, it's simple. You don't want him to do it, stop him. It's that simple. People can't score you, people can't run on you, people can't pass on you if you can stop them. So I mean, they were going to lose the game no matter what. No, I don't feel like it was disrespectful at all. You don't have to. That's just a courtesy. It's not written in stone. That's a courtesy. And if you don't want him to get the record or to get the yards, then stop him. Simple as that. So no, I don't think it was disrespectful at all. I probably wouldn't have done it just to avoid injury, considering that Lamar Jackson is probably the number one rushing. He's a quarterback and the number one rushing threat. So I probably would have avoided it for that. But it was also just 5 yards. So I mean, but still, yeah, I don't feel disrespectful at all.
Herman, what you think?
Yeah, I mean, I equate it to when Brett Favre laid down for Michael Strahan.
That's exactly what I was thinking. The same thing, Herman.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to. And like Marcus said, if you don't want him to do it, stop him. But again, like Marcus said too, I wouldn't have done it because it's Lamar. And to me, I keep going back to the Ravens. I don't understand what they're doing with this dude. Now you rushing him just to get this record. Like, what if he got hurt? What if somebody hit him?
Right.
What if they got mad and took a dirty shot at him? You know what I mean? Blew his knee out. So you happy that you got the record for the most 100-yard games in a row, but guess what? Now your quarterback's sitting on the sideline. So it was a stupid move. Was it disrespectful of the game? No. Like I said, I equated to the Brett Favre laying down for Michael Strahan thing. So if that's how you want to, it's kind of cheap way to get a record, to keep a record going. If that's how you want to do it, so be it. But and on the other side, what's his name? Was Vic
Big Fangio.
Fangio? Get that man a cape because he was Superman.
Wait,
he was Superman. You didn't see what
he was.
Oh man, he had like every other word, every other comment was a curse word.
Yeah,
hot.
He clapped back, and then Harbaugh clapped back. So yeah.
He was like, that's how that organization runs and all this. I mean, he would be straight disrespectful.
It was. It's like, dude, don't do that. Like, it made him look even dumber to me.
It did. It made him look bad.
It did. I'm gonna piggyback on what you said, Herman. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we've seen it done before. This not the first time it's done. But also with Vic Fangio, he motioned for his safety to run up. So to me, if it was like it was just gonna be 5 yards. Why didn't Vic Fangio just take his defense and just take him off the field? Say, look, y'all can get your 5 yards or whatever, get your record, but I'm not gonna hurt. I'm not gonna let my guys get hurt either. He could have just done that too. I just think he just don't stop him. Don't let him get it. Just stop him. That right. If you want to do it, let him do it. Just stop him. That way you don't have to worry about it. But I don't think it's disrespectful either game. Players do it. They do it all the time. And it's not the first, probably won't be the last time we see it. So no, I don't find it disrespectful at all. Brian, what you think?
Man, I'm kind of torn on this one. Like when I first heard about it, I kind of felt like it was disrespectful to the game. 3 seconds left on the clock, you're up by double digits. Why are you still running a play? And then when Harbaugh had mentioned it, and brought it up, I was like, okay. He had already talked about it on the sideline. They had discussed it. Hey, if we happen to get the ball back, we're going to try to get the record. Now, if Harbaugh had made a comment, that they were down by double digits, and he don't know why Fangio was still throwing. If he could get like a 14-point touchdown out of this game. So, I mean, but it's a little different. You're still trying to get some momentum with your team, but it was funny when he said it. So it was like what Herman was saying when it came to, Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan has the record, but it's tainted, It don't feel like legit. Mm-hmm. So now this rushing record that they've tied with the Pittsburgh Steelers, it doesn't really seem legit because they didn't really do it in the flow of the game.
That was the flow of the game.
3 seconds left in the clock, Marcus. There's nobody running a play unless you're down, okay?
So you said, why would they do it? They would do it to get the record.
But my thing is,
in most cases, they just kneel down on a ball. Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's
you're up by that many points. You're not running another play.
That's not a rule.
You're taking a knee. So I think in the regular, there was no real reason to run this play except to get the record. But you don't play the game of football to get the record. You play the game of football to win the games.
No, that's
records come with it, but you play to win the game.
I'm not saying this is the case, but a lot of players, their bonuses depend on yards they get, catches they get.
Yeah, but this was a team record. This has nothing to do with him. It was a team record.
But I'm saying, so
Lamar don't get no bonus for this.
He might. I don't know. We don't know. I don't know his contract. You know word for the contract. I don't know what his contract said. He might.
Yeah, but
it's funny.
Again, go ahead.
And I just said this. I want to take something back I said about Fangio. I love the fact actually that he was mad and said something. I hate, seriously, because I hate when these coaches get up there and they say the political things.
Yeah.
This is what I want to see, honestly.
And you want to see them play again like in the playoffs.
Yeah, you would.
You want to see this in the playoffs.
Oh, it would be just perfect. But that's what I want to see. I want to see a coach get up there and be like, just like the Eagles coach wore the shirt talking about beat Dallas. I want to see him get up there and say, you know what? I don't like that organization. I want to whoop their asses. I want to see that type of stuff.
Don't be putting up stuff where people agree with you, Marcus. Great man. I think that's the fastest one that popped up. Time we've been doing the
show. So yeah, I hope they do meet again in the playoffs. That would be great.
It's bulletin board. It's bulletin board stuff. So yeah,
it does feel a little tainted to me. So I felt it was slightly different.
Y'all being dramatic. You being really
just saying. And like Herman said, it's all fun and games because it went well. What if your offensive lineman got hurt in that play?
Yeah, if it went bad.
What if your starting center got hurt?
What about Lamar got hurt?
Everybody's jumping to Lamar, but what if a strong piece of your offense just got hurt to get a 5-yard play and tie a Steeler record? Which too, I think, had a lot to do with it too.
Man,
because of the Steelers.
Yeah,
because of the Steelers. Or
if could, should, and would with drinks, we'd all be drunk. Okay.
No, we will. What kind of? You didn't say alcoholic drinks. You said drinks. You all just have to go to the bathroom.
I meant whiskey. Okay. If should, could, would, we'd all be drunk. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep the show flowing, fellas.
You got some what?
You got some should, woulda, could somewhere?
No, I got nothing right now.
Probably.
You bring out? Yeah, in that cup, that red Solo cup.
A sweet t-shirt.
He got something in that cup.
Hey, that hat behind you. You gonna put that on tonight?
No, I don't have to. Either one. I don't think either one. I'm not gonna put on.
Okay.
All right. The next hot topic we got to talk about is a team that's near and dear to my heart. Should the Steelers start another quarterback over Ben Roethlisberger?
Can I go first?
This one's hard. You can have the floor, Marcus. It's hard for me, but go ahead.
Hey, before we all start, Marcus, what did your head coach say?
What head coach?
The Steelers head coach.
The head coach said he's back, basically sticking with Ben. That is not. Everybody around Ben needs to play better.
They asked him specifically, should he go to a different quarterback, and he specifically said no.
No.
So should the Steelers start another quarterback over Big Ben? And my answer to that is who? Mason Rudolph?
You know who?
Dwayne Haskins?
You know who?
Here. No.
You absolutely know who.
The answer is 100% no. Should the Steelers have already had a plan for succession for Big Ben already in place? Yes. They don't. So you go with the quarterback that gives you the best chance of winning. And that is Big Ben. I mean, that give you much, but he give you a better chance than Mason Rudolph or Dwayne Haskins, especially Dwayne Haskins. So I'm gonna say no. They should have started Noah. They should have had a plan to replace him already going on. Should have had a quarterback they drafted or something traded for going on. Unless they go trade for or sign what's my
Aaron
name?
Rodgers.
No, not
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is on the team. I'm talking about Cam Newton.
Yeah, put that one up, Marcus.
Can I go next? I guess.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm done.
Go
The
ahead.
answer is no.
The answer is actually 100% yes. And I'm not saying it's because of Ben solely. Your offensive line is leaking, okay? Ben can't move. You need to put a quarterback in there who you can roll the pocket, move the pocket around, somebody who can get out of trouble and get the ball down the field. Your run game ain't there. Ben is just back there getting killed. What is the point at this point? What is the point in just leaving him out there to get destroyed like that? I 100% agree with Marcus. They should have had a succession plan in place. Right now, you're killing the whole team because you're trying to stay loyal and stick to Ben.
Hey, about Lord, he's the best chance to win.
He's not behind that offensive line at this point. You don't know until you at least take a look at it with other play with one of those other quarterbacks. That's all I'm saying.
Brian, what you think?
Yeah, this is kind of a tough one. I mean, Herman, you made some really good points. You and Marcus did. I mean, we kind of saw the writing on the wall last year. The Steelers were gangbusters with 11-0, and then you just saw them curtail off, and then that playoff game was an embarrassment to Pittsburgh. And you thought that this was it for Ben. He was going to ride off into the sunset. The Steelers were going to either draft or, start Mason Rudolph era or, Dwayne Haskins era in football. And then he decided to renegotiate, and they said, hey, let's run it back one more time. Let's draft a running back and we'll get our running game good and we'll be back to Pittsburgh.
Hold on, Brian. What you doing, Marcus?
I'm checking to see who
No, you need to put the comment up. Sorry, Brian, me cut you off, but see how he does,
yeah,
right?
I do, yeah.
I'm trying to see who made the comment.
So Herman made a really good point about. At first, I was going to say no, but when Herman said, yeah, the offensive line is a problem. It's a huge problem. They can't run the ball and they can't protect. So no matter who you put back there, you're going to have the same problems, and they're not going to be as well versed in the offense.
Thank you.
So, yeah, they probably, be honest with you, Mason Rudolph probably would give you a little better option at quarterback at this position. And then also Ben has a hip issue now. So Mike Florio was saying that more than likely the Steelers are going to eventually put him on injured reserve. And that's basically how he's going to disappear from Pittsburgh's presence. Ben Roethlisberger.
Then they need to sign Cam Newton.
I mean, it's either that or they're going to roll him out on crutches at some point during the season.
Right.
He's not going to last.
Right. So, I mean, a spark or things. I mean, it's looking bad. I was watching NFL Live on one of the shows, and they were showing all these plays where Ben was just missing wide open receivers, checking it down. And he just didn't look like Ben. And now people are starting to talk, this is the Ben that you're going to remember, not the young, strong Ben who, defenses fear because you couldn't bring him down and he always extended the plays and stuff. You're going to think this old guy who hung on too long and probably should have let go trying to keep up with Tom Brady. So I think it would be a good idea for Pittsburgh to try somebody new.
Here's another thing we haven't considered. This also isn't the same division it used to be. You got three good teams in there, so you can't just walk away with the division no more. So that's also affecting them as well.
Well, I mean, there's never been like a cakewalk for Pittsburgh. They've always had.
I mean, they pretty much.
It's always been a tough division from the beginning.
They've always had the battle with Baltimore.
It always been.
When was Baltimore not in it?
I was gonna say it's always been Denver, Baltimore, but now.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you act like like it's the Patriots. It ain't like the Patriots, where they just and the Colts back with Peyton Manning, where the division was theirs guaranteed. They had to work for it.
I mean, it was close. I mean, you figure you could split each year with the Ravens, but other than that, it was just them and the Ravens.
Yeah, it was just them and the Ravens before. It was never the Browns and the Bengals. But
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying though. But it wasn't like with this, the Patriots and who? It was nobody until recently. Now with the Bills, it was just the Patriots. They never had to worry.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't saying it was like the AFC East, but I see.
He had less to worry about.
Excuse me. Yeah, it was. There was times when it was pretty much either it was going to be the Ravens or the Steelers.
That's how it always is.
And a lot of times it was the Steelers more than the Ravens at times.
Yeah, a lot of times it was the Steelers more than the Ravens. Ravens had more down years than the Steelers had.
But yeah, now I mean when the Bengals are hitting you in the mouth.
And I mean the way Cleveland cleaned their clocks in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mark wants to get this segment.
All right.
Go ahead, Mark.
Yes, I do. It's pretty painful. We need to move on to the games, but
no. You didn't say anything.
Go into the season.
You didn't answer the question, Mark.
Let me finish. I'm trying to.
Oh, I thought you were trying to go to the next subject. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm trying to explain to you.
All right, my bad.
Going into the season, Ben slimmed down. Seemed to get himself in a playing condition to get ready for the season. Well, a couple of things happened prior to this season. You had his number one ace center retire on him. This whole offensive line is redone. The whole offensive coordinator is new. The whole system is new. Despite last week's game, looking at the other weeks, I'm like, yeah, I think Ben is okay. He'll be okay. He'll be all right. The last week against Green Bay, there was a lot of inconsistency with Ben that I've seen more so. Right now, going into 2022, they do not have the future quarterback on this roster right now. It ain't Haskins. It ain't Mason Rudolph. It's not. So therefore, they put a lot of emphasis on the defense. They've got like one of the best talented wide receiver core here, but they keep dropping passes. Stop being rude. I'm talking. Stop being rude.
I'm muting Mark. Go ahead.
So basically, with that said, I don't think they're completely out of the playoff picture or out for the season. We only talking 5 games so far in the season now, right? It's still too early. I'm not ready to wreck ship on them.
Well, look, I'm gonna tell you this.
They're 1-3.
Your coach is better. Your coaches, whoever your offensive coordinator is, then he better start calling stuff that gets the ball out of Ben's hands.
Absolutely.
Wasn't that whole MO last year though? Wasn't that the whole deal last year? And then all the defenses do is start crowding the wide receivers.
I'm just saying. But hey, roll him out in the pocket. Oh, you can't roll him out because he can't move.
Well, they don't just have just a Big Ben problem. They've got a team problem right now, to be honest with you. It ain't just Ben. It's the defense. Yeah. It's the offensive line. It's the play calling. It's a team problem. It's a team problem.
Your defense is
Ben is only a portion of that. If you change that quarterback, you still have the same problem with the poor offensive line. You still have a problem where the defense can't stop the run. You still got to fix a lot of more issues. So right now,
but don't you think that if you put in like a Mason Rudolph where he actually has the threat to actually run the ball, like Herman said, move the pocket, don't you think that takes a little pressure off of the offensive line and makes it a little easier?
If Mason Rudolph would have shown me some consistency in the preseason, then yes, I'll feel confident in that one. Mason Rudolph don't have the consistency to show.
He's not going to show you consistency because he's not getting the practice reps. If you get him or Haskins in there to get the practice reps, it changes a lot of things. And at this point, what do you really have to lose?
This line is so pathetic. Yeah. I don't care who you put back there.
Hey, y'all, they're not
going to make it.
Minutes in and we ain't done nothing.
Let's move on to
we done a whole lot. You just wasn't here for the whole time.
We got plenty of time for the game. If y'all don't be long-winded.
Well, that Panthers Cowboys game might take a minute.
So we'll move on to last week's game that we chose since somebody wants
Well,
to
we
get
can
the
stay. It's
show
up to y'all.
moving.
I mean, if y'all want to do an hour and a half show, I'm down.
Since he wants to get the show moving here, let's move it. First week game, we had the Thursday night game. The Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals won this 24-21. Reading out the stats for the Bengals. Joe Burrows, 25 for 32, 348 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rushing Joe Mixon, 16 carries for 67 yards, 1 touchdown. Leading receiver Tyler Boyd, 9 receptions for 118 yards, 0 touchdowns. CJ Uzoma, the tight end, had 5 catches for 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was killing them, man. He was a beast. Jacksonville, you got Trevor Lawrence, 17 for 24, 204 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Rushing James Robinson, 18 carries, 72 yards, 2 touchdowns. The leading receiver for Jacksonville, Laviska Shenault Jr., 6 catches, 99 yards, 0 touchdowns. The Bengals won this one, y'all. Herman, I'll let you start us off. Who'd you have in this one?
Yeah, I had the Bengals in this one. Jacksonville, even though Jacksonville actually played a good game, the Bengals defense really didn't show up this game. They kind of had a bad game, but and the Bengals they had to come back from behind to win this. But I picked the Bengals. Jacksonville is a train wreck right now, just like we all I think expected them to be. And their head coach is in the front of the caboose leading this train wreck. Just
right off the cliff.
Right off the tracks, right?
Right off
yeah. It was actually, though, it was a good game. I got to see Trevor Lawrence, and he looked pretty good. They're not going anywhere. I'm interested to see how if Cincinnati is real. Burrow, I think they need to bring his throws down a little bit, get a little bit more balanced. 32 times kind of high, but 348 yards, 2 interceptions, you can't complain about that. Plus a QBR 71.4 and a passer rating of 132.8, which is really good. So I had the Bengals and I got it right.
Yeah, I chose the Bengals in this one too. The Jags jumped out on them with 14-0 lead. Right before half, they were about to make it 21-0. Bengals came up with a defensive stop on the goal line to basically shut that door on that one. And the Bengals had to fight back. They didn't lead into this game until after the final seconds with the 35-yard field goal to win it. The Bengals, I thought Joe Burrows distributed the ball pretty well, especially with his rookie Chase, the rookie they got from LSU. They team it up, Jamar Chase. They team it up to be a pretty good tandem. But I took the Bengals in this one, and that was right. Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I was with you guys. I picked the Bengals. And, I mean, you really got to give it to them, man. They put up 420 total yards of offense and actually ended up stealing time of possession. It was close. It was 31 minutes to like 28 minutes. But the Jags had me a little impressed in the first half, man. I thought that they may have turned a corner, maybe would get their first win and, start positively. But who knew that they were not only going to lose this game, but, I mean, just become even worse of a train wreck than they already had started. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. They cover. I mean, they just talk about what's his name? Urban Meyer. I mean, and the decisions and the choices he makes. And it seems like the more interviews he does, the more he puts his foot in his mouth. It's just nuts. But the Cincinnati, y'all better pay attention, man. Cincinnati's doing some things.
Marcus, who'd you have?
I also picked Cincinnati. To me, there was a game with 2 halves. Like Brian said, Jacksonville was looking very good in that first half, 14-0. I thought they were actually going to pull this one out. It was going to be very shocked, surprised, but then Cincinnati decided to come and play in the second half, and offense and defense, and this turned out to be a very good game, which I didn't think those would be very boring, but it actually turned out to be very good. I haven't lost complete faith in Urban Meyer. I'm hoping he turns things around, but it's not a good look when you say that every week in the NFL is like playing Alabama. Some things you just keep to yourself.
Why they do that?
Some things you just say in private. You don't say to the press, and that's not.
Well, he didn't say that to the press.
Who did he say it to?
He said that to a coach on the sideline.
He was
You
mic'd
said
up.
that to Vic Fangio.
Yeah, he was mic'd
the
up.
sideline.
I think one of them was mic'd up.
Yeah.
Well, he should have kept that to him. He should have kept that to himself. To me, that's a one step below Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. And saying he saw ghosts on national TV. So I picked the Bengals and they won.
All right. Moving on to the next game, we have the Carolina Panthers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. This one was victorious by the Cowboys, 36-28. Stats, Carolina stats. Sam Darnold.
Who cares about Carolina stats? Talk about the Cowboys stats.
26 for 39 for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He also scored rushing 2 touchdowns also. The Chuba Hubbard, 13 carries, 57 yards. The leading wide receiver for them was DJ Moore, 8 catches for 113 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Cowboys, Dak Prescott, 14 for 22, 118 yards, 4 touchdowns.
188
Ezekiel
yards.
Elliott, I'm sorry.
188 yards.
What did I say? 188?
118.
88. I'm sorry, 88. Ezekiel Elliott, 20 carries for 143 yards, 1 touchdown. Leading receiver, Amari Cooper, 3 catches for 69 yards, 1 touchdown. I guess I'll let you start it off, Brian. Who did you have?
No, that's not right. The Cowboys fans go last. And you know that.
Okay, well, I'll talk about this disgusting game. Sam Darnold, man, rushed for 2 touchdowns the first half. I thought he was going to come out and put these Cowboys to dust. But the Cowboys fought back. Defense played pretty well second half. The key stat to me to stand out, the Cowboys rushed for 245 yards total, which pretty much took over the game in the second half, and they just played the ball keep away from them. I did take the Cowboys in this particular game. Finally, they got a game right that I picked. I'm thankful.
Why are you raising your hand, Marcus?
I'm not. I'm touching my mic. Can you shut up and let Brett?
Earlier, you were like,
I'm just touching my mic. I'm about to mute you. Shut
we
up.
can roll the tape back. But
I'm about to mute you. Go ahead, Mark.
But anyway, the Cowboys won it. I took the Cowboys. Marcus, who did you have?
I also picked the Cowboys. It's the Panthers. I thought the little 3-0 was a little suspect. I didn't think they made go against a good team, and the Cowboys are definitely a good team. The Cowboys handled it on all fronts. Definitely on offense, defense. Actually, I think stood out more than the offense did. What they had 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and the lack of not necessarily because Zeke and Zeke being able to run definitely contributed to this game. And you can tell by that by looking at Dak's yards because they weren't that impressive, and they didn't need to be in this game because defense and Zeke did the majority of work. And I would like to see how Carolina progresses after this, how they bounce back. But I didn't really believe in the 3-0 record, and they got slapped in the mouth. And I picked the Cowboys, and the Cowboys won. Okay, Brian, you can go ahead and take it now.
yes, Marcus, that was some beautiful words. Slapped in the mouth, indeed. The number 1 defense is no more, as the Cowboys racked up 433 total offensive yards. And the best stat of the game, no turnovers. Cowboys didn't fumble. Cowboys didn't throw a pick. Cowboys played a great game. First half was a little nerve-wracking, but they got it together in the second half. The third quarter was really all Cowboys. I mean, it was basically the game was over by the third quarter until Trayvon Diggs, who initially me and Herman was pissed because we thought they just took him out for, just to be because we was already up. And then we got a little nervous because the Panthers started coming back. But now reports out of Dallas is that his back was tightening up, and that's why they took him out. And then they couldn't put him back in. Once your back's tight, you can't put him back in. So, which I don't know. I really seems fishy. Doesn't seem right and doesn't sound right, especially when I was listening to Trayvon on the thing. But nonetheless, McCarthy, you better stop, man. Each game is always something, and I don't want to be that fan, man. But can we just have a clean win?
Right.
A clean win with no extra drama in the background. But I picked the Cowboys, and the Cowboys were victorious, as we all knew.
Herman, finish us up.
Well, of course, I picked the Cowboys too. But
Take your time, Herman. Take your time, buddy.
You know, I was a little suspect about the Carolinas 3-0 start too, but Carolina has a really good defense. You watch that game, man. They are fast. They fly to the ball. But the biggest problem was, in my opinion, was their defensive coordinator. He was being too aggressive. And Dak picked that defense apart. He kept coming at Dak, and we kept burning him. But instead of him changing things up, he just kept coming at Dak. And it was like it just got to the point where you keep coming at Dak and you're going to get torched. And he got torched. They got torched. But they have a good defense. But this was the best offense they had seen this year, too. And, you know.
Whoa. Oh, you mean the Cowboys?
Yeah, the Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, that was the best offense
that Carolina had faced.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like Brian said, you know, the third quarter, all Cowboys, they scored 20 points in the third quarter, and the defense shut them down. I mean, you know, Darnold has impressive stats, but it was garbage time, you know. So, this is one you might see later on in the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Of course, they'll have McCaffrey back, but
and they'll have the corner from
Gilmore now,
now.
But we'll have our full strength defense too. We didn't even have our full strength defense,
and we didn't have Gallimore.
Yeah,
Gallup. I'm sorry, Gallup.
But and Darnold, he is what I thought he was. He's suspect back there. He was sacked 5 times. Once they start getting to him, he just crumbled in the pocket.
Do you see Ghost again?
Huh?
Do you see Ghost again?
He might have been starting to see him. But yeah, I picked the Cowboys and I got this one right.
Yeah, it was sad. It's sad not to hear the Donald to Arnold because they traded the tight end. We were looking forward to hearing that one.
I don't think you were going to hear it either way. The way that Cowboys defense is.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next game. The next game we had the Cleveland Browns taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Browns won this one 14-7. Stats for the Browns: Baker Mayfield, 15 for 33, 155 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Nick Chubb, 21 carries, 100 yards, 0 touchdowns. Leading receiver for the Browns, Rashad Higgins, 4 catches, 63 yards, 0 touchdowns. For the Vikings, Kirk Cousins, Marcus old man, 20 attempts. 20 completions for 38 attempts, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Dalvin Cook, 9 carries for 34 yards, 0 touchdown. Jefferson, 6 receptions for 84 yards, 1 touchdown. So in this one, Marcus, I'll let you go first. Who did you have?
I picked the Browns because I would never pick the Vikings. So at least not what Kirk Cousins did. I'll be a hit. This was actually a pretty ugly game for the Browns, especially Baker Mayfield. And this is the first game with OBJ back, and they need to go ahead and get rid of OBJ because whenever OBJ comes back,
Baker Mayfield. The first game.
This wasn't?
No.
Second game.
Yeah, I think it was the second.
Second game.
Yeah, he played the week last week.
And he played good last week, actually. Yeah.
Well,
I'm with you on that, though. I don't like OBJ either.
So, I like him, but I just don't think he's a good fit with Baker Mayfield. I
don't know. I mean, it was a play in that game where he had a guaranteed touchdown that Baker could have thrown the ball.
He missed it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, bad.
Well, like I said, it was a very ugly game, especially for Baker Mayfield and the Browns. I feel like the Browns were kind of lucky to win this one. And even though 3-1, they definitely need to do better. And I think they would do better without OBJ in there. So I picked the Browns, and the Browns won.
Herman, who'd you have?
Yeah, I picked the Browns on this one. their defense obviously stepped up. I mean, Minnesota scored in the first quarter and didn't score again. So when your defense is doing that, you're going to win games. Even though the offense probably should have put up more points than 14. That's a little concerning. But I picked the Browns. I got this one right.
Yeah, especially with all that talent they got.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that 14 points. And your defense shut out the other team.
Should have been a blowout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was a good defensive game, man. This was a snot knocker. They were crushing each other on defense. I took the Browns in this one too. Like you said, I thought Baker played pretty good to rally them back after they were down for a short period of time. The Browns, I think what is like you said, this is the second game with Odell back, but then they finally found a way to get him worked in his offense, which is good. So I'm looking for some more things to come out of this one with Odell and Baker. But I took the Brownies in this one, and they were successful. Brian, what'd you take?
Could you tell Marcus to just put his hand down or something? Because
leave my hand right here.
It's very inappropriate what he's doing to that mic.
If I want to touch my mic, I'm touching it.
I can't.
Oh, Jesus. All right. I'll be honest with y'all, man. Y'all know I forgot that we didn't pick that other game in the rundown. I still had the Niners Cardinals game in my rundown. So I'm pretty sure last week I picked the Browns.
This dude, yeah.
The biggest take away from me again is that Browns defense. I mean, they basically shut that vaunted Vikings running game down, which was very surprising.
Cook wasn't really fully healthy, though.
I guess, yeah.
He just came off.
He said all the highlights. That dude was in the backfield getting nailed. So,
yeah, he was.
I'm not gonna take a lot of time. I'm pretty sure I picked the Browns. If I didn't, charge it to my head, not my heart.
All right. Next game, we had the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. The Cardinals won this 37-20. Stats on it: Kyler Murray, 24 for 32.
Excuse me, sir.
200.
You refer to him as MVP candidate. Kyler Murray.
MVP.
The MVP candidate, Kyler Murray, 24 for 32, 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. Chase Edmonds, 12 attempts, 120 yards, no touchdowns. AJ Green, he's got his first touchdown as a Cardinal. AJ Green, 5 catches, 67 yards, 1 TD. On the Rams, Matthew Stafford, 26 for 41, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Darrell Henderson, 14 carries, 89 yards, 0 touchdown. Van Jefferson, 6 catches, 90 yards for 1 touchdown. Herman, I'll let you start this one first. Who did you have in this one?
Yeah, I picked the Rams in this one, and I got that one wrong. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I picked the Rams because I thought their defense was going to play much better. But right now, Arizona is the best team in the NFC, possibly the NFL. We haven't seen them not play good yet.
Against the Vikings, they didn't play that great.
They didn't play that great. Yeah, they're true. That's true. But I mean, this is a divisional game, and they went on the road and beat a divisional team. They're a divisional rival, and beat them handedly. So right now, they're definitely the favorites in that division. Like I said, I think they may be the best team in the NFC. We're gonna see. I mean, they still got some tough games, but yeah, I picked the Rams and got this one wrong. I think Matthew Stafford, he's he threw 41 times. I don't like to see numbers like that high for quarterbacks, but the Rams they looked flat in this game. The defense just obviously didn't play well. It was just an ugly game for the Rams. So that now they have to go on the road and make that up when they play the Cardinals again. But I picked the Rams and I got it wrong.
Yeah, Marcus, who'd you have in this one?
You know, I also picked the Rams. I guess I was a little hyped over how that they beat Tampa Bay the week before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really,
Don't believe the hype.
no, I still think the Rams are a very good team. And then I also picked the Rams because much as good as the Cardinals have been looking, I still it's the Cardinals, so you still had that much faith in them. But it might be time to start having a lot of faith in them. They're looking very good. Kyler Murray is definitely looking like an MVP candidate at this point. And I agree with Herman. They look like definitely the best team in that division. I mean, statistically, they are. They're 4-0. So statistically, they are the best team in the division. And, it's just I didn't realize how stacked on offense Arizona is. Arizona they got some players on offense. I mean, some dynamic, electric players that, I mean, I really want to see a game between them and the Chiefs. That's what I really want to see. I think that'd be a great game. But I picked the Rams, and I was wrong. But go ahead.
Just real quick. Sorry, Arizona is 3-0 on the road. They're doing this on the road. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
What was their home game?
I'm not sure who their one home game was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll look. Go ahead.
Brian, who you had in this one?
Yeah, I was all on the Rams tip too, man. I thought that Arizona was good, but again, that Vikings game is what gave me somewhat pause, and it didn't seem like the Rams were having any struggles with any of these teams. But man, somebody forgot to tell the Cardinals that they were supposed to lose this game because they came out and they were just lighting it up. Every time I looked at red zone, they was on there scoring another damn touchdown, and I'm like, well, where are the Rams? And the Rams just couldn't do it. They were kicking field goals instead of touchdowns, and they it was a good win for the Cardinals. I was very impressed. I'm very nervous. Kyler Murray, as long as he stays healthy, Herman's right, man. They are probably the best team in the NFL going right now.
The home game, that first game against the
Vikings.
It was the Vikings game.
If you're gonna have a bad game and you have it at home, I can live with that.
Yeah, on this one, fellas, I was with you all. I took the Rams on this one too. I wasn't quite drinking the red Kool-Aid on this one. I thought the Rams. But you're right, Brian. The Rams would drive down field, but then had to settle for field goals. And when you're playing a team like the Cardinals that have a potent offense, you got to put up 7 points instead of 3 points, and that's what kind of really did it for them. They didn't put up 7 when they needed to. But I chose the Rams in this one too. I thought the Rams would come back home with the high-powered offense to match up with them and go blow to blow, but they didn't. So I lost it out in this one. Moving on, we got the hype game of the week. The Bucks taking on the.
You still tired of this game, huh? Oh, never mind. You should turn it around backwards.
I'm just gonna turn off.
What are you wearing there, buddy?
You just host a show. You just host a show, buddy.
That's a nice looking hat you have there, sir.
Yeah, you've worn it fashionably a few times.
I've known to have sported that a couple times. Yeah. But lately I have not had to wear it. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went to play the New England Patriots. They won 19-17.
You said their name wrong. It was the Tom Brady's versus the Patriots.
But the Bill Belichick's.
That's it.
Tom Brady was 22 for 43, 269 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Leonard Fournette, 20 carries for 92 yards, 0 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 7 catches for 75 yards, 0 touchdowns. The Patriots, Mac Jones, 31 for 40, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Jacoby Myers, 8 catches for 70 yards, and no touchdowns. This one, you guys agree? This kind of lived up to the hype. This was a pretty good game, man.
It was. It
On
was a
this-
great game, I thought.
Yeah, on this one, I thought I thought Bill came out ready for him, man. I thought that Mac Jones did well in there, and Bill pulled out some gadget plays on him that kind of surprised him a bit. I thought this was a good show for the Patriots. I did choose the Bucks in this one. Hey, but the one thing, man, that was just crazy as I don't know what. Did you all see Bill Belichick's son on the sideline with those goofy, funny? He looked like he on bath salts or something.
Yeah.
He looked crazy.
He went to the John Gruden School of Coaching. Is what he did.
I don't know. I think he went to his dad. Did you hear him talk? He
Oh.
talked just like his
Yeah,
father.
he does. Man, that's like one of the worst mullet haircuts I've ever seen. Man.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
He looks terrible. And then what was so crazy was they kept showing, they kept going back to him. But I took the Bucks in this one. Brady he's a GOAT. What can I say? Marcus, who did you have in this one?
I took the Buccaneers. Like I said last week, I just felt like they were a better team than the Patriots, and I definitely think they are. But I think the biggest thing in this game was lack of rushing yards. The Patriots had -1 rushing yards.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you're going to win a game with -1 rushing yards. It's sometimes you win, you only got a few, like 40, 30. You can get your rushing games up, but you finish a game with -1 yards with a rookie quarterback. Against a team that won the Super Bowl last year, that's just is not a good. That's not something.
With all that said, if they made that field goal, they would have won the game.
And if shoulda, coulda, woulda was whiskey, we all be drunk.
And again, they left time on that clock.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
something.
No, there wouldn't have been no time on the clock when he kicked that field goal.
Yes, it was.
Like 20 seconds, wasn't it?
No, it was more than that.
It
It was more than that. They talked about that. They was talking about the time management on Belichick's chance that he should have went for it on that instead of kicking that real long field goal. He should have went for it,
Yeah.
8 more clock, and got the field goal kicker closer.
Well, I'm
So
gonna
they
comment.
wouldn't have gave time.
I'm gonna comment on that when it's my turn to go. If y'all would stop being so long-winded.
But anyway, I picked the Patriots. I picked the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers won.
Brian, who you have?
I picked the Bucks too, and I picked it right. But I mean, I was very surprised. Mac Jones was like 19 for 19 at one point in that game.
Yeah.
He
Didn't
sure
really
was,
look
yeah.
like a rookie to me. I mean, looked like he knew how to run that offense, run that game plan. I was very impressed with the Patriots defense. Brady was frustrated that game. You watched him. He was frustrated. He couldn't get it. He didn't throw a touchdown in that game. So, I mean, that's saying a lot. Brady and that offense have been going off. They ran it in and got a touchdown. But Brady didn't even throw a touchdown in that game. So you could tell that he was frustrated by Bill's defense. So, I mean, I was very impressed. I stayed up for most of it. I ain't gonna lie, I did fall asleep. But I tried to stay up to watch the whole game. But it was good. I watched it again on the highlights. And again, like I was saying earlier, they felt like Belichick kind of messed it up at the end, should have got him closer, went for it, took that chance on 4th down. I think it was like 4th and 3 to get down. I don't have to wrap up nothing, Marcus. You ain't wrap up nothing.
We had 39 minutes.
And then, kick the field goal a little further, not give Tom any time to come back and win. So I picked the Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay.
Somebody
Buccaneers,
wake Herman up.
and I won.
My turn to talk now.
No. Yeah, sure.
Herman, go ahead and hit us with it.
So yeah, obviously I'm wearing the hat because I picked the Patriots and I got it wrong. It was a good game. Like Marcus said, you can't win a game with -1 rushing yards. You got to find a run game somewhere in there. Mac Jones, throwing 40 times was just outrageous. Brady did not look comfortable. To me, Belichick had the upper hand on him. Like you said, he didn't throw a touchdown. They just didn't look good at all on offense, honestly. Now, my take on the Belichick thing, and maybe it's far left, I don't know, but in my opinion, the reason Belichick, I think, didn't go for it on 4th is because he didn't want to put that on the rookie if he did not get it. So I feel like he went ahead and let Falk kick the field goal. Falk missed it. He's been there before, done that. Because that was a lot of pressure on Mac Jones when you think about it. He's trying to beat the legend Tom Brady. I don't know what the hell that music was. But anyway, I think that was
Marcus.
Yeah, I know. I think that's what Belichick was thinking, in my opinion. Falk almost made that field goal. I mean, it was there. He just
dunked. It dunked.
If he had kicked it a little wider and brought it back, that was in. So I think that might have been the thinking on Belichick, because Mac Jones was already under a huge pressure. You know, you got to roll with this rookie quarterback the rest of the season. That, you know, you put that on him and he doesn't get that fourth down, he might crumble. You never know. So I think that might be why he kicked the field goal instead of getting closer. I think.
You put that whole game plan in Mac Jones' hands as many times as you had him throwing that ball.
Yeah, he did. But
you were counting on Mac Jones. You wasn't.
Again,
there was no question about.
I just think that was the reasoning behind it, in my opinion.
I forgot to play the music. My bad.
Yeah.
You suck.
I just think that was the reasoning behind it. Honestly, I think that he, you know, he put it on the kicker. Kicker's been there, done that. Falk's missed game winners before. He'll bounce back. You just don't know how Mac Jones might bounce back from not being able to get that fourth down. So,
how about we just no commentary, just say who we picked and move on.
Because we still got games to pick for next week.
All right,
pick those quick too.
The Raiders taking on the San Diego Chargers. The Chargers pulled it out 28-14. We want to read the stats real quick, or we just want to?
We can just go through it. We can just
That's fine. I took the Raiders.
He did.
I took the Chargers. Chargers won, of course.
Yeah, I picked the Raiders, and I was wrong.
Yeah, I picked the Chargers. I was right.
All right.
Yeah.
So what was your record?
All right, so we're moving.
Hold on, what's the record?
5-1.
3-3.
5-1. 5-1.
I was 4-2, but then y'all forgot y'all put that Cleveland game in there.
All right, here we go.
All right, so we're moving to week 5 games. The Thursday night game, we got the Rams the Rams 3-1 taking on the Seattle Seahawks 2-2. You got the spread there, Brian.
Rams are giving up 2.5.
2.5.
Really?
Herman, who you got?
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Marcus, who you got?
I think the Rams bounce back. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
I'm gonna take the Seahawks. Brian?
Yeah, the number 10 ranked offense for the Rams against the 32nd ranked defense for the Seahawks. Give me the Rams.
At home. Seahawks at home.
They just lost at home, didn't they?
Who picked the Seahawks?
Sundays.
Did anybody pick the Seahawks?
I did.
Me and Mark.
Oh, didn't you lone wolf that?
Me and Mark.
Oh, okay. So not
moving on to Sunday's game. Got the Green Bay Packers coming to Cincinnati to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Both teams are 3-1. Marcus, who you got?
I'm right now. I'm on the Aaron Rodgers and the Packers bandwagon, so I'm going with the Packers.
Herman?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Packers. I know the Bengals are up and coming, but that's a tough game right there. It's going to be close, but I'm going with the Packers.
Brian?
Yeah, Herman, Vegas agrees with you being a close game because they're only giving the Packers a 3-point advantage, giving up 3 points in this game. Do you know that the Packers defense is number 6 and the Bengals are number 7 in defense?
Oh, wow.
But I think the Packers are going to win this one as well.
I am going to take the Packers in this one also. All right, moving on to the next game. Got the Cleveland Browns 3-1 taking on the LA Chargers, who are 3-1. And what's crazy for me is the Chargers really don't have a home game.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, I'm gonna go in first on this one. I think this is a nice matchup. I think you got the 2 young quarterbacks. I'm gonna take the Chargers. I'm gonna ride that boat wagon. I'm taking the Chargers in this one. Herman, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Chargers too. I know the Browns got a good defense, but so do the Chargers. They're at home, even though it may not be that much of a home game. But I mean, they took care of the Raiders, so I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
Speaking of, you see how many Raiders fans in that doggone stadium?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's because they used to
Yeah.
be.
yeah, because they used to be in
Exactly.
LA. Yeah.
Brian,
See how
who
many
you got?
Cowboys fans was in that stadium when we played.
Shut up. We don't care about that. Brian, who you
Oh,
got?
sorry. This one was like either a pick'em game, but the biggest one was the Chargers had to give up 1.5. So y'all right, this is going to be a very close game, but I like the Chargers at home.
Marcus, who you got?
I'm also like the Chargers at home. I agree. This is probably gonna be a very good game, but I just feel like the Chargers are on a roll right now, so I'm gonna be on the bandwagon and go with the Chargers.
Sunday, we got the San Francisco 49ers 2-2 taking on the 4-0 Cardiac Kids Arizona Cardinals. What's the spread on this one, Brian?
The Chiefs by 2.5.
Cardinals and 49ers.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry. 5. I'm sorry. Because you got them backwards, but whatever. The Cardinals are giving up 5.5.
Go ahead, and who you taking in this one, Brian?
Give me the Cardinals. It's going to be a question mark with the quarterback for the Niners, so I like the Cardinals.
Herman?
I'm going with the Cardinals. I can't pick against them right now. They're way too hot.
Yeah, I think they extend that record to 5-0. I'm taking the Cardinals too. Marcus?
I'm also gonna take the Cardinals. Like Herman said, they're hot right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if the 49ers won. But I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. Division games are hard to pick.
Yeah, very.
I swear, I tell you, these games in Week 5, man, probably feel like premier playoff games. You got the Buffalo Bills taking on the 3-1, taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is a rematch of last year's playoff game. What's up?
We all know who that is.
Yeah, we'll be sleeping already. Them London games, they be the worst too, man. Oh, them games.
Yeah, we not messing with that.
Even though Mark
On this one,
Yeah, right. He did.
I kind of knew. Look, I kind of knew the answer to it. I was just saying what you guys were saying. I kind of knew the answer to it anyway. Bill taking on the Chiefs. I'm going to go out and say this is a tough one. I'm going to take the Bills in this one, y'all. Herman, who you got?
Yeah, I looked at this one. I'm going with the Chiefs. It's hard to win. It's hard to win in that stadium on the road.
Marcus?
This is a very hard one to pick, but I'm going with the Chiefs.
And Brian.
You don't have to worry about it, Mark. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with that Bills Mafia.
Woo,
Vegas
okay.
is giving up 2.5. Man, the Bills defense is ranked number 1. The Chiefs offense is ranked number 2, but the Chiefs defense is ranked 31st, and the Bills offense is ranked 6th.
They can't be no turnovers. They got to get the turnovers in check. Can't be no turnovers this game.
Yeah,
Can't afford them in this game.
All right, we got the last game. We got the Indianapolis Colts, 1-3, taking on the Baltimore Ravens, 3-1. Brian, who you got?
The Ravens are giving up a touchdown. Give me the Ravens.
Marcus?
You know I'm taking the Ravens. Ain't nobody picking no Colts.
The Colts won last week.
I don't care. I'm not picking them. Taking the Ravens.
Herman?
Ravens.
I think this is unanimous. I'm taking the Ravens. I can't go against Lamar.
Y'all suck this week.
Nobody.
Whatever. I had to wear that damn hat because I decided, let's just make it a little different.
Hey man, I just knew I was gonna be by myself in Buffalo. I just knew that. But
yeah, I
thank
don't
you,
know,
Brian.
man. Buffalo, man, Buffalo shut out the last 2 teams they played.
Yes, they got a good defense. They have a good
I mean,
defense.
it's hard to shut out an NFL team, but to do it in a
But
row.
but I think that last year's playoff is still brewing
It
with
is.
them.
And
They
it
want to make
wouldn't
up for that.
surprise me if Kansas City won because Kansas City's back is against the wall.
Yeah, very much so. In that division,
All right,
very
well,
much so.
all right, fellas, we finished the show. Thanks for being here, and I stayed the whole time. Can you believe that?
I know this is the best. I wanted to ask Herman, did he come over and do something?
Nah, that's him.
No.
It's all Teddy Ryan.
All right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you got a little
Final
too many
thoughts.
sounds.
Final thought. Herman, you want to start us off with the final thought?
Sure. My final thought. You'll face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated.
The hell?
What
What
are
we
you,
giving,
son,
Proverbs now?
she or something? What the
What the
hell?
hell kind of shit?
Look, it's
Was
the
that-
final thought.
Was that in the China and when your fortune cookies that you ate or something?
No,
You
I
up
haven't-
here
I
doing
haven't-
haikus and
I
stuff.
haven't had Chinese food in a while.
All right, man. Mine would probably be, man, hey, man, Big Ben. This may be his last hurrah, but I'm still a
Maybe.
Steelers fan. I still sport my Steelers 100%. I'm still wearing it. I'm never giving up on my Steelers. Go Steelers Nation.
Hey, man, you gave
Brian?
up on them Sunday night. We didn't want to listen to the game no more. We was taking bread to the airport.
Turn up, Brian.
Brian, the game was over. It was 6 o'clock.
You
The
just
game was
said,
over.
I'm
Silly.
always rooting. I'm never giving up. Man, turn this off.
The game was over, silly.
My final thought is a shout out to Jalen Smith, man. I don't know what happened, man. I was rooting for you hard. I'd hoped, that everything was going to work out, but this is football, and sometimes things just happen for the way they are. But the way that you progressed from your injury to getting on the field to making the Pro Bowl, it was kind of sad, when I got the notice, from Herman that we let you go. But wish you well in Packerland, just not against us.
Marcus, take us out of here.
Well, I'm gonna follow in Herman's footsteps since you want to get some critiques out here. In life, you could be the hammer or the nail. Choose to be the hammer.
You could drink Heineken or Corona. Drink the Corona.
Right.
Before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Live Game. Also on Twitter at The Live Game 3. And you can also catch us on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.